Hi, I'm Likhit. I will be visualizing the financial perspective of the data story. We have seen many visualizations that involve discrimination analysis. Now I will be looking into a deeper version of racial discrimination where the number of people considered for a high profile job varies based on his ethnicity. We can observe for the job roles that have been paid low, like around 20K and 40K, there are considerable amount of people from other ethnicities like Black, Asian, and all. But as the gross pay increases, we can see a significant drop in the ethnicities in the employees of different ethnicities other than white. And when the gross pay is very high, like 240K and 280K, the only white people are considered. So this is a significant discrimination based on the ethnicity. In the coming two visualizations, I will be trying to establish a financial ranking based on the amount consumed by a department based on the strength of the employees. First one comes the packed bubble representation of various departments based on their size and amount received from the government. If we take the jail department, it has 635 members and takes a total of 45 lakhs from the government to compensate its employees, whereas human services has 935 amounts but takes only 46 lakhs. So, though the takes 46 lakhs, though amount of people in jail is lesser, it is taking a more amount than the human services department, or considerably equal amount to the human services department. So from this we can observe that the jail employees have more importance than human services employees, and in turn, the financial rank of jail is greater than human services. In similar way, when we compare human service and Ken regional centers, the amount of people looks very similar by comparing the size of the bubble. But when we observe the intensity of the bubble, that is color gradient, we can observe that human services have been offered more compensation than Ken regional centers, which makes human services financially more better and more important than Ken regional centers. The idea behind this type of plot is to establish a system that identifies which department is predominantly taking more amount, and thus we can observe this department is financially more important than the other. Coming to next, we will be considering a department and various job roles under that department. If we consider two job roles, they say correctional officer and a sergeant, the size of the rectangle clearly duplicates the number of employees enrolled under this job role. Though the number of employees in correctional department, number of correctional officers are way higher than number of sergeants, the pay for correctional officers is very low compared to a sergeant. So this makes correctional officers less significant than sergeants. In similar way, when we compare two entities, say a deputy warden and a senior identification technician, both only one people have been taken for this role, but the pay for deputy warden is double that of senior identification technician. So this makes the deputy warden more important and more authoritative than the other. Based on these two visualizations, we can get a overall ranking of the departments and jobs under department. Next comes the Next comes the visualization is to identify if there is any discrimination for a job role based on the department it is being performed. For example, the role chief of staff is paid with 1,82,000 when under county executive department, where the payment goes down to 95,000 in the county council department. But when we observe senior deputy director, the pay for the pay in public defender department or facilities management department or economic development department is around 1 lakh, which maintains the equality of the role irrespective of the departments. This encourages an employee to pursue his wish of department without being worried about the pay. So, for example, a person who is qualified to be a informational systems administrator can pursue either in information technology department or code records department of his wish without worrying about the payment. But if it is in the case of chief of staff, if the person is eligible for chief of staff, he will be preferring to go to county executive department, though he is interested in county council, as the pay is double. I will be wrapping up these visualizations by looking into overtime payment analysis, which basically gives an insight on how an employee is compensated based on his overtime work depending on his department. We can observe that for case, let us consider the departments emergency management and jail. We can observe that the overtime payment overtime payment consumption under jail department is on par with the emergency management department, but the total gross pay consumed by emergency management is way low than jail department. This infers to us that there will be huge amount of overtime and huge importance of overtime in emergency management than jail. And similarly, jail has more importance than human services, as we can observe directly from the overtime. Though their total gross pay is on par, overtime pay for jail is way higher than human services. This is obvious because in jails, we will be having criminals to be watched on 24 hours, and the same comes with emergency management, as we can't predict when emergency happens. Thank you.